Hello students, I wanted to share with you in this bathroom here how to wash the brushes after painting in oil. I often scold a bunch of you for not washing them because basically at that point you have lost your brushes and the only thing that will revive them is Murphy's oil soap. But let's not get to that point. So when you get home from class, you have a bunch of dirty brushes. First, you would have washed them out well with a rag, well in the turpentine, Gamsol. Then you bring them home, and they are still dirty. They are still dirty. Before I turn on the water and make all this noise, I just want to show. I want to share with you that while you are washing them, you check for the foam color. If the foam has a tiny bit of color, like a little greenish or whatever, reddish, whatever color is on the brush, it is still dirty. You are still going to get a crusty brush when it dries. So you absolutely have to foam up with the soap, with a bar of soap, a few times, 4 times, 5 times necessary until pretty much all the foam is completely white. It's a bit hard to do if you've been using a brush with white paint. So you just have to continue until maybe 5 times or 4 times and then you'll be done. Continuing means foaming up, dropping the soap, and then using your hand and inside your palm you would do 1 brush at a time, or if there's tiny brushes you could do a couple together. Inside you are washing, then you are foaming up. Then you grab the bristles like this and you twist the brush like that. Then you continue, you rinse under hot water. Do not think of using cold water. Cold water will never cut the linseed oil. So as hot as possible, don't burn yourself, but adjust it so that it's a pretty warm stream, very warm, the hottest you can handle. I would wash hands first. Makes sense, because you don't want to have extra paint. And I prefer to use a bar of soap, and many artists do, because liquid soap just doesn't cut it. So you won't wash your hands more or less. Then once you take the brush with hot water here, you will lather up. Don't be afraid of ruining the brush. You will not ruin the brush like this. Be gentle, don't kill it completely, but give it some. You see the color is pretty green still. Then I begin to really wash the brush. I use that sometimes to finish washing my fingers, and I go. Then I squeeze the paint, the foam out of the brush. And you see the color? That's not the color of the soap. It's still paint. So continue, keep going. Again, second time, getting better. Again, inside your hand, squeeze. You can do this again now, loosening the paint from here. This is the dangerous place. If this gets too much paint, your brush will look like this eventually. Okay, and you wash it off, you squeeze it off. At a certain point, your brush will feel a little squeaky clean, squeaky when you touch it. If it feels greasy and slimy, that means you still have paint in there, linseed oil. You keep going. And you wash the stems a little bit. And you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. And most likely there's still soap in here. I'm just used to washing brushes my whole life, so I know, I have a feeling that there's still paint inside. You just trust the number of times that you foam with the soap. Do it 5 times. Now it's getting better. I do it again. And again, I squeeze. I use my thumb, my nail to squeeze some paint from underneath and loosen the bristles and go like this. If you wash your brushes after every session of painting, no later, like I painted during the day or in the morning, if I wash them tomorrow morning, that's already getting late. I would not leave them overnight. By evening, you should have the brushes washed. The best thing is right after class. But if you're going to paint again in about, I don't know, in about an hour or so, or 3 hours later, don't wash them. Just dip them into the turpentine and don't squeeze them out. Just wrap them loosely in the rag, and they will put them in a plastic bag, and they will stay for until you're ready to work. If you wash them and they are humid, they're not even wet anymore, they're humid, they will not, you will not be able to use them anymore that day until they're completely dry. The oil will just not hold on to them at all. So I just want to show you what happens at the end. You go like this, you squeeze it out. It will be tinted, but that is not paint anymore. It's just discoloration. Okay, I know because that's how I picked up the brush when I worked it, and it should be easy to move when it's dry. If just by chance you feel like I have brushes lying here, if by chance I pick it up and I'm like, wow, it's a little stiff, wash it right away. At least immediately you can maybe save it. Okay, so anyway, you lay them down like this. I'll show you to dry. Don't stand them up because you don't want the water seeping inside the brush. And then I have two brushes more or less the same size. Again, I do them together to save time. Make sure when you do that you're careful that each brush gets enough soap and gets enough scrubbing. The glazing brushes, the soft brushes that you would be using, you want to wash them more carefully, okay? Alright, so here's a brush that's really discolored. The blue that I've been using is very, very intense, so it's going to stay light blue because the bristles were white at the beginning, but it doesn't matter. As long as there's no crusty paint between the bristles. When you feel them going quick, 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 then it works. Okay. I don't know if there was a pause in my phone. Then you wash your hands. You wash the stems a little bit. Wash your hands from all the soap, sometimes your elbows. and you are done. Okay. Thank you for watching.